Hi, everybody. This is Kevin Iole with Yahoo Sports, and we're going to try something different on our MMA coverage, starting with all UFC on Fox shows and the UFC pay-per-views. It's going to be Kevin picks against the pros. And so, of course, it would be like if I decided to go play in a golf tournament, and my first tournament would be against Jordan Spieth or Dustin Johnson, because I am coming up against the GOAT, I think, of MMA knowledge, the guy who knows a little more than anybody in this business, the former bantamweight champion, Mr. Dominick Cruz. How are you, Dom?
Doing good, Mr. Lowell. How are you?
I am doing awesome. Well, you're ready to pick them. I have odds here on the main card from UFC on Fox. And these are all going. We got a good shot of your ear there, and these are going to be the odds
Sorry
from
about
the
that.
Westgate in Las Vegas. So
Okay.
we're good. So we'll use the odds of the Westgate in Las Vegas, and let's start in reverse order. So the show's going to open with a 3-round welterweight fight. Mike Perry. I said Mike Platinum Perry yesterday, and he very quickly corrected me. He is a minus 350 favorite. So the odds makers kind of like Mike Perry to defeat Max Griffin. He is plus 275. Perry is 11-2. He's coming off a loss to Santiago Ponzinibbio. Griffin is 13-4, 1-2 in the UFC. What do you think? How do you see this fight, Dom?
Well, I like that if you really look, because I know Shelby pretty well, so I like how he makes matches, and we see things kind of similar in that aspect, that this makes sense. This matchup makes sense for the fans because both of these gentlemen have a specific gift, and that gift is laying their body on the line for entertainment. Right. Not every fighter fights that way. Not every fighter throws caution to the wind and then just serves the person in front of them a butt whooping, But both of these gentlemen have done that in their fights. They've shown that as an attribute that is consistent in their styles. So you're going to see both of these guys go out there and stand toe to toe. First of all, there's going to be some takedown attempts, but the takedown attempts committed by these gentlemen is going to be mostly to offset the rhythm of the striking. So it's going to be a striking battle. I think you're going to see kicks in there too. Both of them are not high-level kickers. Like, it's not one of the things that they focus on, but it's going to be a good high-level technical boxing match with power. These guys are good at finding the power shot and making it land. And that's not an easy thing to do in MMA.
Right.
Because there's so many different things that...
With the angles and everything.
And when you're with takedowns and with the 8 different limbs that you're dealing with, it's tough. So they're able to find in the past of their fights, they've been able to find a home for big, heavy shots, and that takes good timing and good reads.
So who do you go with? I think I'm going to go with the favorite in this one, Mike Perry. I just think he's a little bit stronger guy, a little bit more experienced guy. So I'm going to go with Mike Perry to get the victory. How about you?
Well, I think in this matchup, I'll agree with you on this, and the reason I'm going to say that is a little bit of a different reason for me. Mike Perry, not that Max Griffin hasn't shown that he can go out there and do the same thing. Offensively, I've seen from Max Griffin the same attributes that I've seen out of Mike Perry. But the difference is Mike Perry's durability has been tested and well proven.
Right.
And that's against guys like,
Ponzinibbio the last time out.
Ponzinibbio was one, but also the one that stands out to me is, I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart on the name. He's a model.
Oh, Alan Jouban.
Thank you. Jouban. So him and Alan Jouban went at it. And when Mike Perry lost that matchup, but it was still, he showed so much toughness, so many good offensive things in that fight. He lost, but his durability was there. And that's something that I think that's going to help him in this fight against Max Griffin.
So Dom and I are both going in the opening fight on the card with Mike Perry. The next fight is a 3-round light heavyweight fight. Number 5, Ovin St. Preux. He is minus 120. Number 8, Alir Latifi. They were supposed to fight last month. Latifi got injured. He is even money in this fight. So very close fight. Odds makers think this one can go either way. OSP's been around a long time now, fought for the title. He is 22-10-3. He's got 3 wins in a row, all by finish. So he had a really good year last year. Latifi is 14-5, but he's coming off what I thought was a very impressive victory over Tyson Pedro at UFC 215. How do you break this one down, Dom?
Yeah, I like this matchup. I pick the one in this matchup that has the reach and the length, mostly because Latifi is just so short for the division. It's not necessarily that he's not built for the division. He's just short stature for the division. He's got the height of an 85er, and he's the size of a heavyweight. So he's just enormous, but that allows him to pack a lot of power and a lot of explosion into one shot. The problem is OSP's so long, and he utilizes his length so well, also being a southpaw, that extends the length even more. I got to pick OSP in this one just because he's got the power edge and he's got the reach and the length. The only thing that I see being an issue for OSP in this matchup is Iole can easily take him down once around and kind of hold him there and beat him up on the ground enough to win a decision. So I think that if OSP wins or loses this fight, it's by decision.
I like OSP in the fight too, but my question to you is in this one, do you think OSP's kicks are going to be a factor in keeping the fight at range?
I think that if you're OSP, you have to use kicks. The equation isn't if you're going to get taken down. The equation isn't do I stop throwing certain strikes so that I don't get taken down. The equation is actually when I get taken down, what are my chances of getting back up?
Back up and being able to do something. Okay.
Yeah, so you can't change your offense if you're OSP because that's your gift. If you change your offense, you're taking away what you are.
You're out of the fight.
You've got to keep what you are and add some offensive get-ups, some defensive get-ups so that defensive get-ups from the bottom when you do get taken down. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when, and can you get away and get back up.
I really like the co-main event UFC on Fox. It's a 3-round women's strawweight fight. Number 2, Jessica Andrade. She is quite surprisingly a minus 300 favorite. Tisha Torres is ranked number 5. She is plus 240 at the Westgate. Andrade is 17-6 and coming off a very impressive win over Claudia Gadelha. Tisha Torres is 10-1. She's coming off another impressive win over Michelle Waterson. And you look at Dom. You look at Tisha Torres. She's beaten PVZ. She's beaten Felice Herrig. She's beaten Waterson. And she's got a victory over the champion in the division, Rose Namajunas. So she has beaten some really good fighters. I think I'm going to take a shot on the Tiny Tornado here with her striking. I know it's going to be a tough fight. I'm going to take a shot on her at plus 240. How do you see this one?
Again, I see this one similar to the fight stylistically as Max Griffin and Mike Perry. So not the same fight. When I say that, don't take it the wrong way because they're obviously two completely different style fights. But what I'm saying is durability is going to be the factor in this matchup, in my opinion. I think that is the key to winning this matchup is, one, how well can Tisha Torres stop the offense of Jessica Andrade? Because Andrade has a style where she's hard to deal with, whether you're technical or not. She marches forward. She got a style where she's willing to eat your shots and throw a 5-punch combination and hit you a lot harder. The other thing is she doesn't just throw one at a time. Andrade throws combinations of power, which is a good thing to use if you're fighting Tisha Torres. She moves a lot. She's hard to find. She's very technical. She throws kicks. Andrade is going to need to eat the shots, keep a tight defense, keep Tisha Torres on her heels, stuff the takedowns by forcing the pressure on Tisha Torres. And by doing so, you force the takedowns of Torres and you force her on her heels where her kicks are no longer useful. You're forcing Tisha Torres to only box with Andrade under these circumstances, whereas Andrade will have the antidote and the answer for that. Now, if Tisha Torres can stay on the outside, use her footwork, keep the kicks going, stay at range, and deal with the forward pressure of Andrade by using backward offensive combinations, moving in and out, and she's going to have to really put in her road work so that she's got her cardio to where it needs to be to move backwards if she needs to for the entire fight. If Tisha Torres can do that, I see her edging it out. I give the technical edge to Tisha Torres. I give the durability and power edge to Andrade. And if I had to pick a winner, I'd pick Andrade.
So we have a difference there. So now on this one, you're taking Andrade, I'm taking Torres. Hey, let me ask you one last question about that fight. I was thinking as I was watching some of Andrade's fights that, she's kind of like the female version of Edson Barboza in terms of the kicks. She hits you with things and they seem like they damage people quite a bit, and she can fire those kicks. Do you agree with that? Do you think her kicks have that kind of power to end the fight?
Honestly, like if I'm not trying to say that I don't agree with you, Lowell. I'm just going to say that I've never seen anybody kick like Barboza in my entire life. Yeah. Now, if I had to compare her to anybody in the women's division, or compare Barbosa to anyone who's in any of the women's division, it'd be Cyborg, because she's just so powerful.
Yeah.
But if I'm talking about Andrade, I think honestly, she's got more of a Latifi style, power boxing, power combinations with takedowns, strong, willing to eat shots, keeps the hands here and lets you hit her on her defense while you're hitting her, she's eating it and she's still moving forward. This takes away the combination to end. You can't kick on somebody moving forward like this, so it's very difficult. She forces you to power box her more by sitting in the pocket instead of sitting on the outside, laying kicks. She does use kicks, like you're saying, Lowell, but I think that her gift is actually forcing forward pressure with power boxing.
Now, when we go to the main event, it's a 5-round featherweight fight. Another really good fight. Number 4, Josh Emmett. He is the underdog in this fight. He is plus $1.40. Jeremy Stephens is ranked 7th. He is the favorite, 8-5 at minus 160. Josh Emmett is 13-1, and he's coming off a really impressive win over Ricardo Lamas, KO1 last time out. Jeremy Stephens has been around for a long time, 26-14. This is his 41st fight. He is coming off last month a knockout of Choi. I think this is going to be a really fun fight. I look forward to this one a lot. Is this the fight that we see Jeremy Stephens really vault and make himself a legitimate title contender here?
Well, according to the UFC rankings ladder, yes. Which, what does that really mean? It's pretty.
I don't vote.
Crude, if you ask me, it's pretty lost. So let them do what they want with the rankings. That doesn't matter. But this fight itself is what it is. Forget about the ratings. Forget about all that. This is one of those fights that the stylistic matchup in the past has created challenges for Jeremy Stephens. When Jeremy Stephens gets past this stylistic matchup, he's staking a claim that I can deal with all different styles. He fought Choi, who's a crafty, sharp striker who stays on the outside with power. That should have been a tough challenge for Jeremy. It was early on, and then he found an answer. Everybody that Jeremy's fought, each style that he's been challenged with in 41 fights, he's done a roller coaster in the UFC. And this is the best he's ever done. This is the most focused I've ever seen him mentally. The thing with Jeremy is it's never really been his physical attributes. It's always been, how does he get consistent in the mind?
Right.
Jeremy's more consistent, more concise in the mind than I've seen in his whole career since I've been training with him. I'm excited for his future, and I think he's finally putting things together. And you're seeing that in his fights, his recent chain of wins, that he's fighting at a different level right now. He's fighting at a championship level. I'm excited to see him go up against this matchup and do well.
To beat Gilbert Melendez, a perennial contender, a guy that's been at the top of this game for a long time. No, that was Melendez moving down to featherweight, but that had to do a lot for a guy's confidence. When you win at that level, doesn't that have an impact and make you even a better fighter the next time out and the time after that?
Well, I think I'll take it a step further, Lowell, and say that what makes Jeremy Stephens the most impressive to me is how many times he's lost, and he's putting together a win streak like this. This is what nobody really counts, is it's harder to lose and put together a win streak after losses than it is to keep a win streak and just be a winner.
You got to suck it up and find a way to come back.
You see, Josh Emmett's been a winner his whole life, probably his whole career. Jeremy Stephens has seen the lowest, darkest sides of the world. He's already been there and climbed back to the top. He's already been down in the ditches. That's what I'm excited to see. What does that do for an individual in these style matchups? Emmett's very green if you compare. If you compare the depths, the dark, nasty, grimy fights that Jeremy Stephens has been in, that's what Emmett is being challenged with. Whereas Jeremy Stephens is being challenged with the typical style that's been beating him through his career, keeps dropping him down the ladder. And that's that powerful striker with big punches like him, but the wrestling to keep him down and burn that clock. That has been the style that has been the kryptonite for Jeremy Stephens for a lot of years. And I think he's finally got an answer to it. And with this win streak he's put together, that's what he's willing to test out. That's what he's here for. And that's what he wants to go and win so he can get a shot at the title.
So I am going with your teammate, Jeremy Stephens, at minus $1.60. I assume that's your pick too. So
well, he's my boy, but I'm not going to take away from Emmett. You know, this is Emmett's stage too. I don't want to just sit here and boast about Jeremy, but you know, because Jeremy is my teammate and I know him well, I don't know Josh Emmett as well other than the film I've studied. On film, technical ability, it's all there. I think the difference in this fight is literally going to be the difference in the depths that these two have been throughout their career so far.
I guess after this fight, we might not be asking about Jeremy Stephens. Who the bleep is this guy? Right? I think we might know after this one.
Realistically, I think Notorious knew who he was then.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. Well, let's just recap Dominick Cruz. I'm Kevin Iole. I picked here Jeremy Stephens to beat Josh Emmett. I went with Tisha Torres in the upset over Jessica Andrade.
That's a good pick, I must say. That is a good pick.
Especially at plus 240.
It is. That's a good pick.
I went with OSP to beat Latifi and Mike Perry to beat Max Griffin. The champ, he went with Jeremy Stephens. He went with Jessica Andrade, minus 300. Also went with OSP. Also went with Mike Perry. Dom, it has been a pleasure. You are working on Saturday at the show in Orlando for Fox. I learn something every time I listen to you, as I did right here. I really appreciate you, my man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate the time. Thank you, Lowell.
Good to see you. Thank you,
Have
Dominick.
a good day.